welcome to 3 Chord Dave Live. Number 70 something? 73? Cool. Welcome. If this is your first time on 3 Chord Dave Live, welcome. If it's your 73rd time, welcome also. Good to see you all. Hope you had a good week. It's been a lot of stuff happening this week. And of course, we did a video most days of the week. If you count 3 days as being most of them. So anyway, we will roll into the live stream. This again, of course, I have to work on 2 systems because chat's still not fixed with eCams. Thanks, eCam Live. You are terrible. Anyways, yeah, thanks for joining me. It's Saturday night here in Wexford, so sláinte. Okay, so let's dig in to the chat. Just remember, if you're new here and you have not subscribed, you need to subscribe to be able to chat to us in the comment section there. So do that and say, hey, if it's your first time in particular. Most of the people here are pretty cool. And then we have a couple of weirdos. But it's fine. They're cool too. Yeah, lots of stuff guitar-wise happening. Lots of rumors out. And some of them are just getting crazy. We saw, of course, Greenie. The next version of Greenie came out $20,000. Hopefully you checked out the video on that early this week, and you can let me know what you think of Greenie for $20,000. Personally, I don't think I'd spend $20,000 on a new guitar. So there you go. Anyways, let's dive in. Scott was here first, as he always is. I don't know how he does it, but good to see you, Scott. Ryan followed him up with a good day. Good to see you, Ryan. And Marcia says, hey, so how do we prank Dave for April Fools? Let's all not chat for the first 10 minutes of the stream and see what Dave does. All right, how do I ban Marcia from the chat? Yes. Oh, that's how. Oh, put user in timeout. See, you. I wonder what that does actually. Let's just find out. Oh God, now it won't let me click off. All right, there we go. Marta, you may or may not be in timeout. I'm not sure if I pressed the button or not. Sorry. Right, so pretty sure you can read the comments. I can indeed. I can read the comments already made. So yeah, that's not going to work out. No pranking Dave. I did mention last week I was going to make an April Fool's video and I didn't get to it. So apologies for that. Excuse me. I knew that was going to happen. Anyways, Richard Clark is here. Says, I can't check in right now, but I will try to be back in a half hour to ignore someone else's show. Well, thanks, Richard. We do appreciate it. If you do catch the comments. Al is here. Good to see you, Al. Hope Brazil is treating you finely. I'm sure it is. Richard says, am I going to the wrong spot on YouTube? I went to the TCD group to upload some pics of my guitars, but there weren't any recent uploads. I actually have a Studio Platinum that Dave mentioned. On Facebook, well, the link's in the description of all the videos. It might not be the one on the live stream actually, so maybe click on one of the other videos. It should have updated, but it probably hasn't because YouTube is what you call it. So check one of the other channels for sure. Ryan says TCD and friends. Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely in the links to the main videos. So in the description of the main videos, and I'll try and get it set up properly. I have tried to set it up. YouTube, making changes, they don't like it. Okay, so I definitely want to check that out though. That's a cool thing, Richard. James Severance here says, hey, 3 Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Good to see you, James. Hope all's good with you, man. And Richard says, I found it. Cool. If I get time and Dave accepts me, I will get pics of my favorites posted and platinum. That was being talked about last week. It's more if Muddy H2O accepts you. He's doing all the accepting. So if you don't get accepted, it's because you've pissed off Muddy at some point. He's, he holds grudges, which is weird. But there you go. Ryan says the platinum is one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. They made me an offer for it last week, just as we were about to go live, and it was really hard not to buy it because it was a good offer. It was a good offer, but the shipping's a bit high. Shipping's always high these days, but hey, there we go. Ryan says, you think Dave gives himself a pep talk in the mirror before these live shows? I don't give myself a pep talk, but I do walk off any stress. I tend to pace around up and down the hallway, stuff like that. Yeah, but it's a fun time for all involved. You know, we do our best to just be loose during the show. I'm kind of concerned. I do keep referring to myself as we lately. I don't know why, but I should be concerned by that. I think. Richard says mine is burnt orange. Had serial number 50 out of 400. I think all platinum rings, knobs, plastics. I am thinking of modding it to black abalone. Interesting. Yeah, well, we definitely want to see it on the Facebook group, Richard. So once you're all set up there, definitely let us see it. I'll be jumping in there more this week. Glenn Bailey says hello all. Hello, Glenn. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, always good to see you. And oh yeah, every week I forget that YouTube's just going to dump comments on me as I go through. So let me just get back where I was. There we go. Matt Van Bosch is here. Good to see you, Matt. Hope all's good, my friend. Ryan says, I would just keep it original. That's my preference for most things, to be honest. But we'll see how it looks. I mean, everyone has their own things that I want to do. As long as you can put it back to original. There you go. That's the one thing. Grandpa Joe says, greetings, Dave, Scott, and everyone. Hope all are well today. Hope you're well, Grandpa Joe. Great to see you as always. Al says, maybe Dave fools us all and waits 10 minutes before starting. Damn it. I should have done that. Guys, I hope I can stay starting to cloud up and we're expecting some serious wind. Well, take care of yourself, Glenn. That is important. And yeah, weather warnings and stuff like that over in the United States. So take care in all over parts. I mean, obviously, I haven't checked the entire United States, but hopefully, in parts of where you guys are, you'll all be safe. 68 and F and storms don't mix. I mean, okay. That sounds interesting. It sounds like a perfect temperature, to be quite honest. Mar says, hi to everyone. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, folks. Gotta bring some people here. Oh, very cool. Posting to Twitter. Nice, thanks, Marsha. Richard says, I had tornadoes all around me in Iowa last. Glenn, I was a little nervous for a bit. Tornadoes freak me out, man. There was a whole incident where I was communicating with someone who was in the way of a tornado, like on the path of a tornado. It was a horrible thing. Thankfully, so it was 11 years ago now, 10, 11 years ago. It was a very scary time. I can't even tell you. I wasn't anywhere near it, and it was the scariest thing. And then I was in Oklahoma one time, and nobody told me that on Saturday afternoons they test their tornado alarm. And so I was in yoga class, believe it or not. And I was lying down at the end of the yoga class. They do this thing, you know, you do your relaxing, just lie there pose. I can't remember what it's called. Corpse pose, maybe? I don't know. And the tornado alarm started going off. And all the Oklahoma people were like, this is fine, no problem. And all the Irish people in the room were freaking the fuck out. So anyway, so yeah, I haven't gone back to either a yoga class or anywhere that, I mean, I actually have gone back to Oklahoma since then, but still, it makes me nervous. So tornadoes, all this tornado talk's making me nervous right now. That's why I'm rambling. Scott says, or Glenn says, Scott, did the trash truck get the trash, or did he just try to take out the building? Which is a reference to Scott's YouTube channel, a very interesting video of someone reversing a vehicle this week. It was put yesterday, I think. Yesterday? Or today? It could have been today. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore. Word to the wise, if you're going to do or try and do daily YouTube videos in any month or just forever or whatever, don't have a full-time job when you're doing it and other things you need to do as well. It's just exhausting. I'm exhausted right now. That's why I didn't make a video yesterday. I was just like, I just can't do it. But anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Glenn says, my wife's family is from Kansas, so I've heard stories, so stay safe, Richard. Oh, absolutely, Richard. Sorry, I should have said that. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you are safe as you can be. Scott says he couldn't get to the dumpster for 9 days. Jesus, that doesn't sound good. Marsh is back, and apparently it is party time, so good stuff. Glad to have you here, as always. Marsh. Glenn says, yeah, it rained all morning, and then around 11 the sun came out, and it was beautiful. Now I'm afraid we're going to pay. Have you got some sort of weather vengeance god over in that part of the world, or what's going on, Glenn? I'm sure maybe you're just having a nice day. Maybe we'll see. William Forrest is here, says, yo, dudes and Davettes. I like that, Davettes. Very cool. Good to see you, William. Hope all's good, man. Ryan says, a friend of mine just moved to KC. Are they getting hit? Hopefully not. Definitely wishes there. Marcia says, 3 minutes 30 countdown. What the hell? Isn't it usually 2 minutes? Hey, Marcia, if you want that moderator position eventually at some point in the near future, you better stop criticizing everything on the channel. First, it was whatever you said at the start of the show about pranking me, and then now it's criticizing the countdown. Oh, I tell you what, you're pushing it. You're on thin ice. You're going to be in Glenn's position, which is a permanent yellow card if you're not careful. I'm just kidding. It's all good. Yeah, I just thought the entire intro would play this time. So it's 3.5 minutes long. So there you go. It's YouTube audio library's fault. Plus, I had to make myself more beautiful. Glenn says, Scott, sounds like you needed a controlled burn. I don't know what you guys are doing, but that sounds illegal. Dennis is here, says, tally ho to Chord Dave. Hey, everybody. Hope all are well. Great to see you, Dennis. Hope you are well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. And Ben Allmark here as well. Says, hey, folks, hope all healthy and happy. I hope the same for you, Ben. Hope it's great. It's great to see you. And always nice to have you in the chat. Scott says, I need to teach people how to use a snowplow. Hey, there's probably a big business in that, to be honest. Glenn says, the F word, I had my headphones on and I forgot the volume was way up. I'm having hearing trouble now. Well, there you go, Glenn. Listen, it's fine. You'll just have a constant buzzing in your ear forever. I got that, so you have to have it too. Dennis says 80 degrees today in North Carolina. Well, that sounds too much. Yeah. I don't know what it was here, but it was like I don't know, 10, 13 in Celsius, so whatever that translates to, I don't know. But anywho, let's roll on to Al says 92 degrees in Brazil. Well, there you go. Brazil has Al, and it has all the best weather, so we're not jealous, Al. It's all good. It's all good. Jack Collins is here. Good to see you, Jack. Says hello, Dave, and everyone else. Hoping everyone had a fantastic week from Louisiana. Great stuff. Glad to see you, Jack. Hope you had a great week as well. Corey's here. Great to see you, Corey. Says hope everyone has had a great week indeed. Fantastic stuff here. From yourself, Corey, great to see you. Let me see what else we got. Chris from Coburg is here. Fantastic. Says, yo, we were back to the regular time. Yes, indeed. We went back with you last week, so we are now after last week's show. So yeah, normal times for the next 6 months, and then we'll all get confused again, because that's what happens every 6 months. Why not? Don't forget, guys, if it gets super busy, make sure to hit the tag, the 3-chord at 3-chord Dave in the, what do you call it? At 3-chord Dave, the tag, because that way we will have everybody. I won't have to read all the stuff that, it's just conversations with you guys and stuff like that, just in case we get busy, super busy like we have in the past few weeks. So, I want to get as much of your comments as we can, but it's becoming difficult to get everything into our 2-hour slot. And just a word of warning, I may end up having to leave tonight's stream. It's just a little bit early, maybe 10-15 minutes. So I will update you on that as we go. But likely if I need to leave early, I'll just have to go, hey guys, I need to go. so keep an eye out for me getting stressed, which happens very easily. Anyway, let's dig in a little bit and try and get through some of this. So you all are living in either cold or hot places. We got that. That's all good. Scott says, check your mic level, Dave. It looks good from here, Scott. It's looking like it's hitting the appropriate levels. Let me see. You can turn it up just a touch here. But if it's not good, then I don't know what to do. Let me see. We have any other comments about the mic? Maybe it's just I'm talking too softly. I don't know. Maybe I'm in a mood for softer ASMR style YouTube lives. I doubt it. But there you go. I haven't got the patience to do ASMR videos or any videos. As you can tell, I do not put all of the effort that other channels do. I just talk to the camera. So there you go. Ben says, hey Glenn, hope everything is well. Yeah, let's all wish Glenn well, actually. It's a big day for Glenn. He likes Saturdays. I guess. I don't know. Mars says, yes, Chris, Ireland needs to change clocks at normal dates like we do. You guys are the ones who are weird. The rest of the world does it differently. So it's you guys that are weird in, in a lot of ways. Scott says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe and wait for 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. Well, indeed. You must subscribe and then wait a minute. And then, because that's the lowest they can set it for. You have to be subscribed for at least 1 minute before they'll let you hit the chat. So it's all good. It's all good. You know, join us and say hello. Matt says, Dave, cool greenie video. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was wondering which way to take it with that, but we'll see. There's going to be a lot more greenies talk, I think, soon. Not too soon, but we'll see. Musical Companion says, Texas time again. Yeehaw. Well, there you go. Good to see you. Melvin Bosch says, so when are we seeing an Epiphone greenie? I wouldn't expect to see it this year, but it's not impossible. We'll see one at the end of the year. Yeah, and I think it'll be like, it could be a case of they released the Gibson and Epiphone just standard greenies at the same time. But again, I actually don't think they will do that because they're going to try and sell the Gibson one at an inflated price. I know a couple of you guys were saying in the comments you think that they'll try and sell them around the price of, like, say, the Slash Les Pauls and stuff like that. I honestly think, and I don't have any input from anybody on this. This is just me making stuff up. I think they're going to really push the price on that one just to see how far they can get away with it. And it's going to be a core model, so they can always come out and say, oh, we're going to reduce the price on that after 6 months. It's not impossible. It's not unheard of. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that come in at like 3,500 to 5,000 as a starting price. Whereas stuff like the Slash models, the Adam Jones, they're like about what, 2.8, 2.9. So I think Greenie's going to be more expensive. We'll see though. We'll see. Maybe they'll just go and do the whole like it's a Kirk Hammett signature kind of route and make it 2,900. I just feel Gibson are kind of greedy and they think Greenie is like the thing that's going to make them all the monies. So we'll see. Let me see what we've got here. So there's Epiphone for greenies. I expect it next year. Like, I would expect a NAMM next year greenie release, like early January or late January, I should say, if NAMM is back to its normal place and NAMM is, you know, has the big guys back at it. That's what I would expect, but we'll see. Of course, I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about that as the year goes on. Of course, anything like that, if I find out any actual information, I'll bring it to you guys in a video or on a live stream. A lot of Facebook content, because there's stuff that I can't put out on video, essentially just right up there. It has to be within the community because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want anyone to get in trouble either. And sometimes people give me information that they can get in trouble for, and I just recklessly make videos. So yeah, we'll do our best, but. Anyways, we'll see. Marsh says, "Oh my God, there's a timeout feature." There is, and you're on thin ice, lady. Totally understand if you did. I deserve it sometimes. Not at all. Not at all. Glenn says, "I think Epiphone Greenie will be out early next year." Good thinking, Glenn. I think I think we're on the same thinking there. Scott says, yep, timeout, hide, ban, the 3 strikes. Yeah, absolutely. There is 2 people currently hidden from the channel. I believe that's all. And they are both people who were in the live chat just talking shit. Oh, no, one of them is a person who's in the live chat talking shit, and one of them is a scammer. So there you go. So it takes a lot. If you start scamming people, you may end up getting banned. That's on the channel anyway. Musical Companion says, so no Epiphone at NAMM or Kramer, so when are they going to unveil the new models? Just slow video drips. Probably next week or the week or the NAMM week. We know, for example, the next Adam Jones is coming out the NAMM week, the 11th of April, so 10 days away. Yeah, Kramer, Gibson, Epiphone, they're not going to be there. Fender not going to be there. PRS not going to be there. All of those companies I expect to have basically video presentations, just their normal social media releases of guitars over the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably next 2 weeks. And kind of cheekily stealing a little bit of Nam's thunder as well if they do it on Nam week itself. So yeah, I don't know what the actual plans are, but it definitely seems like they are going to just do their own thing because like a lot of channels and a lot of people are saying, they figured out over the last what since 2020 for various reasons that they don't need the Nam show. They can just put out their own stuff. Their audience is online. Um, what I'm hoping they will find is that the connection is a little bit different. And like it's hard to say something like the Nam show is still super necessary for big brands. But building up relationships with smaller brands and people who may become part of that company and stuff like that, you would imagine, like, I think all three of those will have representatives at the show. They just are not presenting themselves. So um, it's weird. It's weird. Nam just hasn't got back from the pandemic yet. It just hasn't. And I think this is a good test run. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll have a really good Nam show, and the small guys will get a lot out of it. I think the smaller brands will get a lot out of it. Hopefully, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm disappointed. I'm probably not going to meet Dr. Epiphone, but hey, if he's there, we'll try and grab him anyway. Just for an interview. I mean, not for kidnapping purposes. I shouldn't have said that because now if he gets kidnapped, people will be wondering. Anyway, Mar says YouTube has all punishment possibilities clearly covered, but they still can't reel in the scammers. I think it's just a case of they don't want to reel in the scammers, to be honest, but there you go. Kristen Koberg says, cooking a glamorous meal of sloppy joes and spicy potato wedges, pub food. No drink. All right, well, yeah, good food. I don't really know what a sloppy joe is, but enjoy it. So I hear about it in movies and TV shows, but yeah, it's not a thing that we have here. Let me see. Glenn says yum, I presume for sloppy joes. Jack Collins says, Dave, how I deal with stress is I get on my Harley and take a ride at the end of the day. That's a good way to do it, Jack. Yeah, I got a few stress relievers myself. I do like to meditate, particularly at the end of a day. I'm probably the worst meditator in the history of the world because I probably just end up like humming Zeppelin tunes. But there you go. Uh, Playing guitar is a stress relief as well, and just walking around, taking in your thoughts and thinking how you can how you can get things where you want them to be. That's the main thing. And eventually you let go of your stress. I mean, I do. I find walking quite good. Also, being on an exercise bike and stuff like that. So that's what I do. But yeah, mostly just before the show, it's just good to loosen up a little bit and get any tension you have in your body from your day out. I find anyway, so that you can just sit and chill and be cool with everybody. Anyways, rolling on. No stress. We're all good. Al says Epiphone will probably charge 2,000 for Greenie just based on current track record. It's not an impossible number, Al. I don't think you're way off what's going to happen there. My prediction is Greenie is going to be the first one to break 1,500, and there's going to be a big hullabaloo about it. I think they're going to build it up for probably a month or so beforehand. The Greenie is coming up. Probably start to see leaks of it very soon. Actually, little picture here, little picture there, background of Cesar's Instagram, that sort of thing. I don't think 2000's out of question for a Greenie, which is ridiculous to be quite honest. But I also think Greenie might be the one they launched their Epiphone aged program, like proper Murphy Lab style aging. It won't be Murphy Lab, but it'll be like, hey, we're making aged Epiphones now. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that being 17 to 2,000 dollars in price and limited in numbers. So maybe there'll be 700 or 800 available at that price. 500 seems like a good number. And then a regular one, look, if you want Greenie, even if it's an Epiphone, I think your minimum you're paying the $12.99 that you're paying for an Adam Jones guitar right now. More realistically, I think they're going to be looking at 14 or 1,500 for it. But 2000, I think, is definitely possible. We'll see for sure though. Next year, again, look, they could turn around in a couple of weeks and release the Epiphone. I don't have any solid information on it, but I'd say it'll be a while. They're still going to release that Gibson first because people might buy the Epiphone before the Gibson otherwise. So it's a while ahead. Glenn says, I got a JO Bantam Jackman 2 20 watt hybrid amp this week. As an old guy, I'm always amazed at the power of these tiny amps. Well, but there you go. Old guys and young guys can be amazed by the power of the amps, I'm sure. But good stuff, Glenn. Scott says, I was thinking 24.99 Canadian for Greenie. Yeah, that, I mean, I don't know how much that is in real money, but it sounds like a lot. Corey says, good to know, Glenn. I've been thinking about looking into that amp as well. Very cool, very cool. And Glenn says, I'm with you, Scott. I think Greenie will be the first $2,000 Epiphone. Yeah, it was Al who was pointing that out. I don't think it's unlikely. I think it's probably quite likely. But hey, we will find out in due course. It's interesting that people are expecting it, and I think if people are loud enough online about Epiphone prices, because I think even still with every release that comes out at a high price, they're testing the waters. So we'll see, we'll find out, and there's a lot more to come. I think we're going to see some stuff from Epiphone soon. That'll be cool. So we'll see what pricing they have on it, and if it matches the price ranges they've been showing us lately. Corey says, what kind of cab are you running that JO into, Glenn? Let's see what he says. Musical Companion says, you could be onto something, Glenn. ESP LTD has the new Kirk Hammett V at 1800 US for an LTD. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I wonder how they're selling, actually. I might be able to find out if they're doing well. I'd say they are doing well. Al says, years ago, I was at a conference in Kansas. My associate wanted to see a tornado. They had a drill, but they didn't tell him it was a drill. He got so excited. He took it in good humor. Man, I was terrified. Everyone else was super chill. They were like, it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday. That's fine. Or 12 o'clock, whatever time it was. Yeah. Little old Dave there freaking the F out. Like, why is nobody moving? Is this what you do? You just wait for death to take you away? Anyway, fun times. Glenn says he's running through a Harley Benton 2x12 with vintage 30s and an orange 8-inch speaker cab. Very cool. Very cool, Glenn. Yeah, I saw your Harley Benton in your recent video. It reminded me you had one. Very cool indeed. Mar says, I want more Dave, faster, longer countdown means less Dave, slower. Listen, there's been more Dave this month than ever before. And I'm like, we could talk about that and how that's gone, and on my perspective as a creator, and whether it was worthwhile on YouTube. So for the month of March, there was 29 videos, including live streams, on the channel. For the month of February, there was 7, including live streams. So let's just say there was 4 times as many videos, including live streams, done in March than there was in February. Let's ignore the fact there's 3 extra days in March than there is in February. So just to give you an idea of how YouTube changes over time. So with 7 videos, it was 3 videos, 3 actual videos on the channel, and 4 live streams in February, I believe. And there was something like 18,000 views that whole month. The month just gone, where I did 29 videos, 4 times as many, I got 32,000, almost 33,000 views. So less than half, or sorry, less than double the views, but 4 times the number of videos. So that's disappointing. I need to check something as well here. I have the number written down, how much money, because I know people want to know how much money you make on YouTube, assuming that it's hundreds of millions of thousands. It wasn't hundreds of millions of thousands. It hasn't been for a long time. So in February, YouTube AdSense, YouTube in total brought in 103 euros and 57 cents. So we're talking big bucks here. 103 euros. For March, now the March could be a couple of days behind here. 131 46. So I did 4 times the work for an extra 28 euros over the month. It's probably, it's probably fine. And in no way did I hit any of the targets I had for the month going ahead. So you got a lot more, Dave, in the month. And I'm going to evaluate. It's going to take me a little bit of time to figure out what was good and what was bad about it. I'm not doing a video every day in April, by the way. That was a 1 month experiment. You might see 1 or 2 videos this week, and then obviously the NAMM week we're going to be kicking off, and hopefully we'll get a lot of videos out that week. So we'll see. It's been an interesting experiment for me. Something I have struggled with in the past is like being like, there's nothing to make videos about. There's no stories. There's no news. There's nothing I can talk about on the channel. And like, I'd be disappointed. I'm like, I'm letting people down by not putting out a video on a Tuesday or a Thursday or whatever. And I felt like a little bit upset about it at times. Not upset, not sitting in a corner crying or anything, but it's like, crap, there's nothing to do. And, maybe it's just not a good genre or niche to be making videos about, because I'm not making videos about unboxing 40 guitars that I'm buying and selling, and I'm not making a video reviewing what's in the Gibson demo shop or the mod collection or the or whatever else I'm doing. I don't have a regular video every day that I fall back on, and I don't just rip off other people's ideas, and I don't talk about I'm not going to make daily content so I can give out about other channels, which some people do, or give out about certain things in the guitar business other than Gibson, because I think that's fair game, because they're just awful. Love their guitars, hate the company. But what was I trying to say on it? Yeah, so I used to get a little bit down about it, but now going through the month, I'm like, I can find a video. I can find videos to do. There's no problem there. I found sources and ways to make videos that and I kind of took the pressure off myself for what needs to be story worthy. Some of you guys, like, there's some videos I put out this month, I'm not going to tell you which ones, which I was like, no one's going to like that video. And then you guys would mention, hey, I love this video. Your comments in the videos are all positive and stuff. It's super cool to see. So I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate a lot of what you guys do. A lot of you guys reached out to me over the last month and were like, hey, we support what you're doing, and thanks so much for the videos, and people saying, look, do what you want to do and make sure you're cool with it. And I really appreciate all of you guys for reaching out and helping out. And I gotta say, I really appreciate Muddy Hates Show setting up that Facebook group and kind of getting that all set up, and putting in the effort for once. That was nice of him. She knows I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was a really weird and interesting experiment when it came to my YouTube channel. Did I think it was worth it? No. I didn't think it was worth making a video every day, given the outcome that we've had. I set certain goals in the month and I came nowhere near them. Maybe I was unrealistic, but I didn't set like huge goals based on, I wasn't expecting to make $5,000 or have 10,000 new subscribers. I was kind of hoping for 500 subscribers, and as I'd made 100 euros on YouTube in February, I was hoping that I would hit 500, giving that it would be 4 to 5 times the number of videos. But that didn't happen. 28 extra euros. So anyway, just the whole thing, just for anyone who's interested, and I won't really go into too much detail about it beyond that. It gave me a new perspective on YouTube. It wasn't financially worthwhile, and it wasn't time-wise worthwhile, but it opened my eyes to a lot of things on YouTube. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna be making videos, and we'll see how NAMM treats us, and maybe there'll be a lot to do there. But yeah, one thing I will say is I'm exhausted from making videos. Like, I really am. Like, it was yesterday I sat down and I was writing out a video. I'll actually show you how far I got. This is my notebook I was writing my script in, and I got this far down the page. The full page usually is like a 6 to 8 minute video, and it's just about the Harley Benton range that came out this week. Nothing secret in there. And I got to hear, and I was listing them out, the different models, and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to put out the same video I've seen 40 other people already put out. So, um, so I didn't do it, and I had a drink, and it was grand. And yeah, since I had a nice Bushmills whiskey in the press and or in the cupboard, and had a bit of that, it was great. Um, and it was a good month though. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. And thanks for so much for all your engagement, your supports, all the likes, all the subscriptions, all the love you showed me. And just this is all coming off the back of Marsha's comment saying longer countdown means less Dave. You know, you've had a lot of Dave. I think you might need less Dave at the minute, but I do appreciate it, and thank you so much for saying that anyway. Matt says to Glenn, can definitely see a 2000 Epi Greenie. It's going to have to be pretty special just for that sort of price. Interesting to see the price of a Gibson standard version when it comes out. I do agree with you on that, Matt, for sure. Corey says, currently 31 of us in the chat and only 14 likes. Let's get those, get hitting those buttons for Dave. Indeed, we're up to 28 likes now and 45 watching, so that's pretty good. Thank you guys for doing all of that. That's super cool of you. Marsh says, Glenn, if you like the JO, they're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked at the sheer power of the teeny 30 Champsack 2.0. That's an early finish line. I've been following the program. Marsha, I really do think you're selling for these companies. What's going on? Do you work for all these companies officially? Because you do definitely have all the info. Like, it's like you're a sales rep, which is fine. Just, you know, I'm just, anyway. Chris McCoburg says, when do you leave for Nam? The day before. So yeah, I'm leaving on the Wednesday, and I will arrive on the Wednesday. And it kicks off officially on the Thursday. I'll be there early on the Wednesday, so I'll check it out and see what's kicking around. But yeah, exciting times. Looking forward to it. Marcia says, latest video showed a practice amp beast. It's 30 watt of insanity. They played it loud and clear in the middle of a bustling conference recently. Be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, one of those publicity stunts. That's pretty, I'll have to check that out. Glenn says, Corey, it sounds good. I only have had about an hour with it, and it comes with a foot switch, 2 channels. Good stuff. Glenn, I have a lot of Harley Benton guitars, cabinets, and everything. I love everything they put out. They do put out, I'm not sure what I think about the 25th anniversary range, to be honest. Maybe I was just too psyched about the idea of them having their own kind of mod shop. But yeah, I don't know, the Fire Mist. At first I was like, oh, they all look cool. Awesome. And then I was like, but do they? So yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on them if you've checked them out. On lots of channels were making videos about them in the last couple of days. I thought it was kind of overkill, but there you go. We have a lot of choice when it comes to guitar reviews nowadays. Where did all those chats go? There we go. Anyways, right, where we are. Corey says, keep us in the loop when you get more time about it, Glenn. I'll be building a new guitar space once we get settled after our move, and I've been considering similar combo for that space. Very cool. Asian Redneck's here. Good to see you, Asian Redneck. Hope is good with you. All is good with you. Howdy y'all. Hope everyone's doing well. $20,000 dentist guitar. That's rock and roll. That's Gibson. Yeah, for sure. Ricky Compton says, get those Marshall made in Milton Keynes, USA while they're there, guys. Yeah, God knows. I thought it was funny. Like I was actually getting my car serviced, and I was sitting in the waiting room, and the news came on. It was like, Marshall amplifiers have been used by everybody, and the dude listed off a load of people who never used Marshall amps. It's like, all right, cool. And then he's like, and now they've been sold to a Swedish company who makes their headphones. Like, all right, cool. Weird story. If I knew more about Gibson, or about Marshall, I would have made a video about it. But yeah, other people. KDH made a good video. Check that out. Glenn Bailey says, I like Saturday. I go to work 3 a.m, catch up on my YouTube in the afternoon, and get to mess with Dave on Saturday night. That sounds a bit off, Glenn. I don't know if that's how you wanted to say it, but yeah, it's true. Christopher Goldberg says, yeah, they took that Les Paul and made it the most un-rock and roll guitar ever. Yeah. Let me see. Rick says, this is the greatest beer Saturday with Chord Dave. I mean, you know, it's up there probably. I think it could be. It's one of those weeks. That's why. Glenn says, I was thinking about the K.R. Telly being a Stones fan. K.R. Telly is pretty cool, in fairness. Musical Companion says, I'm really just waiting on the Dave Mustaine Epiphone 24 fret Les Paul. or the limited edition Black Sparkle V. I think the V's are coming soon. I don't know about the Les Paul um, from Epiphone, but I know the V's are nearly ready to be announced. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see those over the next couple of weeks. Um, Scott says, any word on how Joe Bonamossa's most recent guitar has done sales wise? Is that $250,000 335 still available? It was is it a 335? It was a 335 or 355. I don't know how his latest is doing. No, to be honest with you, I haven't really been bothered looking at it. What I will say is, as far as I'm aware, they're more or less readily available. The last time I went looking, which was a couple of weeks ago, could have picked one up no problems. So yeah, I think they're pretty. I think they're not doing amazingly, but I think Epiphone might try and get them sold pretty soon because they want to start building up for his new one, which is an SG this year, we believe. Mr. Bonamassa said himself, the 250. I don't know. I don't know if that one is still available. I hope not. I hope it's sold. Hope the guy got his 250,000 for it. Craziness. Chris says, Long and McQuaid's is doing a Bonamassa Epiphone giveaway. Get in there, Canadians. I entered. Not a Joe fan, but I'll take that guitar. It's a nice guitar for sure. I would take it for free. If it had been less than 1,000, I would have bought it, honestly. I was looking forward to that one. I was kind of disappointed then when they brought it out at that price point. Just because I have a thing, and it's not that I didn't. Like, I could have bought the guitar at $12.99. There's something in me is just like, you can't pay that much for an Epiphone when you can buy a Gibson for that much money. So anyway, it just drives me insane that they try to do that. But there you go. That's Epiphone/Gibson. Ricky says, I have the Dave Mustaine Rust in Peace Alien Green Gibson musical companion. I love it. One of 100. I was lucky. Yeah, those are very interesting. I don't like the color of them, but I did know they were coming quite a while before. Thoman actually listed them like 6 weeks before they were due to be listed for like an hour one morning. I took a snapshot and so I knew exactly when they were dropping, and I could have bought one as well, but I didn't see the value. And then of course they were, because I didn't know they were one of 100. I thought they were coming out as just the main run. There you go. You miss out on opportunities sometimes. Matt Van Bosch says, anyone been tempted by any of the Harley Benton 25th anniversary models? The Telly looks like a great spec for the price. Stainless steel frets, locking tuners, impressive. The specs on them are pretty good, yeah. It's the Fire Mist. Was it the Fire Mist? Whatever it's called. I'm not sure that the finish. Yeah, part of me is like, the Telly looks nice though. It does. The Telly looks probably the best of a lot of them. No surprise there. They make really good Tellys. Ricky Compton says the Kramer ones should be coming out soon. For the Mustaines, yeah, I think they'll come out pretty soon after the Epiphones. They're pretty far down the production route as well. Scott says, who'll be presenting at NAMM? Oh, I mean, there's hundreds of companies still, so I don't know. There's lots of, you can find it on the website. There's on now, I think it's nam.org. There's a whole list of everything. What's his name? John Fogerty's getting an award. I don't know who's presenting that, but that'll be cool. Cute goth cousin, which is, Glenn, that's really hard to say. Do you mind? Could you change it? Could you change the name? Cute goth cousin. Could it be like, I don't know, what, anything else? Why did you stop answering my calls, you bearded geezer? You and I had a good time. It was a great time, but yeah, I return all calls. Okay, I feel like over the course of my life, I have had a number of non-returned calls that have been hurtful, and so I return all calls. It's just who I am. But yeah, so April Fools or not, I'm not letting that pass. Just so you know. And if you're not calling people back when they call you, reevaluate. It's not cool. Don't be ghosting people. That's just mean. Jack Collins says, I would be interested in Harley Benton 25th editions if they wouldn't all gold. I'm just not into gold. Yeah, I mean, it's the color, the exact color of gold I've gone with. I'm not sure on. I think in person they probably look better than they do in the pictures. But hey, we'll see. Musical Companion says, I think Johnny Thunders deserves a posthumous LP special Gibby and Epi and an ES135 Epiphone. It's whether they think they'll sell. I mean, it would be it's pretty much just comes down to can they sell them. There's a lot, like who did I see talking about this recently about signature models and about whether people deserve them or not. Maybe it was Chord Dave. I don't know. But yeah, it basically just comes down to, like, they do a lot of research who will sell the guitars, whose guitars will sell more than others, and so forth. I know they have a list of people they want to work with and want to bring out guitars with. So and so there's some surprising names on that list. So we will see when they come to fruition. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised there's some surprise announcements over the next couple of weeks. So keep a close eye out for sure. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that'd be cool, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but hopefully. Anthony Thornhill is here. Good to see you, Anthony. Hope all's good with you, my man. And Glenn says the 25th anniversary HB, too much gold for me. Well, there you go. There you go. Nella is here. Good to see you, my friend. Says happy April Fool's Day. Yeah, I see Gibson's cologne ad. They were, and there was people in the comment section saying, no shit, I'd actually buy this. There you go, people. Scott says, unfortunately, even though I kind of want an Epi Greenie, I don't want any more LPs. Yeah, I get you. LPs are a thing. Glenn says, Scott, I've got 3 LP and I would like another, but I also don't. For sure. Christian Coburg says, yes, a Thunder's LP special I can get behind. Yeah, I don't think there'd be too many people complaining, that's for sure. Let's see, what else have we got here? How about an Epi special P90 in an authentic TV yellow? I don't think you'll get an authentic Epi in TV yellow because they just won't make it exactly the same for a lot of reasons, but mostly because there was some of the cheaper Gibson versions you can buy. So if you're going to spend the money, you might be tempted to go up for the Gibson. So yeah, so it's close, it's just not the same. But anywho's, Marcia says, oh my god, sorry I was quiet, but a little birdie friend bought me a snazzy TCD mug that apparently showed up just a few moments ago. Talk about good timing. Well, that's cool, Marcia. Yeah, there you go. Little birdie friend of yours is very cool, and what a great thing to do for somebody, getting them a 3-Chord Dave mug. Great place for a plug. Well done, Marcia. I appreciate it. All is forgiven. Yeah, you can get yourself a mug in the description. There is actually, it's probably not on the live stream thing, so I'll have to fix that too. But if you check out the right underneath all the videos, there's a link to all these merch items. You can get yourself one of these beautiful mugs with this awesome 3-Chord Dave dude on it with his guitar with 5 knobs for some reason, which we only noticed recently. Then we have a sticker. You could put this sticker on all kinds of things. Like, let's say you were going to NAMM, you could place that sticker on all kinds of brands, guitars and stuff. Not that anyone's going to do that. You can get yourself a nice t-shirt that's in this color right here. And as we've mentioned last week, we don't leave left-handed guitarists out on this channel. You can get a left-handed one too. It's a little bit more expensive because it's left-handed, of course, but you're supporting the channel just that little bit extra. So thanks to Marcia for reminding me to plug the merch for the channel. Yeah, check the links out. The boxes underneath the videos will get you there and you can buy them. Last week after the live stream, we were in the top like 1% of the total sellers on Teespring, which you would think would make us, like, we made hundreds of millions of dollars. We'd sold like four items at that time, and then just yesterday we were in the top 2% again. We hadn't sold anything yesterday, so I don't think Teespring's doing well. But we're there and we're part of it. So if you want to buy a 3-Chord Dave t-shirt to support the channel and what we're doing here, it'd be appreciated, and it does help out because all the money that's raised on the channel, whether it's the money that I've showed you about from the AdSense on the channel, whether it's super chats, whether it's t-shirt sales or Patreon, the links for all of those are in the description, by the way. It all comes back into the channel, whether it's buying equipment, buying guitars, maybe it'll help buy a giveaway guitar in the future. all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it is all appreciated, and thanks to Marcia and Marcia's friend for supplying such a cool gift and piece of merch. Awesome stuff, and enjoy it. Let me see. Nella says, I have one on order, but I know that the color is going to bug me. I want one, but I don't want to spend Gibson monies to get one. Yeah, I know what I know what you mean. It's just off what it should be. And they very much do it on purpose because they're dicks. Mar says, thank you to that friend who sponsored a little something for me and supported Dave. Yeah, it's super cool. Thanks to you guys for being the kind of community who will do stuff like that for each other. I think it's really cool to see. Scott Bogfoot says, I want to see a whole lineup of Epiphones. LG, SG, Firebird, V, Explorer, 335, all done up like Greeny. Too much. Yeah, too much Greeny. I actually think Gibson are gonna push Greeny too far, and people are gonna get like on another fucking Greeny. It's like how I feel about the Adam Jones guitars. Like I don't want to make more videos about them, but I kind of have to because they do well. Um, they do wellish. So yeah, it's and I so when the next batch comes out, I'll have to make, hey, here's what the new one is. Guaranteed, like even though we know what it is and it's already on the Facebook group, video is gonna have to be done when we have better photos. But anyway, I digress. Greenies are going to drive us crazy for 2 years. Everyone who wants one will get one, as Kirk said in the video, for the $20,000 one. Anyways, $20,000, everyone can get one. Good man, Kirk. Let me see. Al says, just curious to Scott, how many LPs do you have? I have 5 and counting my LP Junior with SG body. Oh, okay. The SG Les Paul. I get you. Very cool. Marcia says, people, go get that new merch. Indeed. Nella says, Scott Bogfoot, probably going to have to be a DIY project, Scott. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For everything, Greeny, you would for sure. Scott says, I've got 7 enough. I don't want to jive with the body shape, but I do appreciate them. Just not comfortable for me. That's exactly how I feel about them. So I'm going to pick up a Les Paul this year. My justification for that is on Patreon. On the exclusive content side, there is guitar wish list number 3, which we'll be getting back to this month, by the way. Exclusive content, the guitar wish list will kick back in maybe after now, but we'll see. And it's about, like, I did the longest one I've ever done for a guitar wish list, about how much choice there is in Les Pauls and how I'm thinking about going for it, because I want to have one good one in my collection. We'll see what it ends up being by the end of the year. It's kind of my hunt this year is on for a Les Paul to add to the collection. Scott says, I'd love to do a DIY guitar. Well, what you should do, as I said, we talked about doing it at the start of, or at the end of last year, that we would do it at some point this year as a group project. Everyone who can get themselves set up with a kit guitar, and off we go. But I've been way too busy to even do it, and hopefully over the summer we get some time to do shit like that, but we'll see. Benny says, hi guys, sorry I'm late, bad day. Sorry you're having a bad day, Benny, but there's no such thing as late around here, and we're always glad to see you, so thanks for dropping in. Hope all's good, man. Jack says, Scott, I have an EXP LTD 256 Cobalt blue. It's the most comfortable Les Paul guitar I have. There you go. Yeah, other companies make more comfortable Les Pauls, that's for sure. Glenn says, I would do a DIY Les Paul so I can get a white one without spending a bunch. You do you, Glenn. That's all good. It's all good. Al says, to Dave, you might want to do a series of shorts from now. Might increase your subscribers, similar to Guitar Neurotic. It's a good idea, Al. I have there's this thing against shorts. I don't like them. Every time I try to record them, I'm like, this is stupid. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. It's not a bad idea. It's just getting my frame of thought around them. Someday I'll have to give in, I suppose, if I'm gonna be serious, or the other thing is just stop caring about the subscriber count and just make the videos that I want to see, which was initially what I was doing. But at the same time, I did have dreams of 100,000 subscribers and all that sort of stuff. The thing on the wall that says, hey, you have a billion people following you or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm happy where we are. It's all good. When it comes to it, I think shorts are stupid. So Yeah, I don't know. That's my feeling on it. But you're right, Al. I should. My plan for now right now is to live stream day one and just do a full walkthrough. Get back to the start then for maybe the second half of the day and do like a more curated um, visitation of some places. Setting up a couple of meetings and stuff like that as well for the few days with companies and people. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a couple of shorts. If I bump into any YouTubers or whatever, I'll be like, hey, let's do a short for my channel real quick. But I should be able to do some interesting stuff. We'll see. We'll see. It's all good. Now it says, Chord Dave, perhaps you could change up the background a bit and see what happens with views. Not that there's anything wrong with what you have, but see if something else works. No, it's a good shout. I don't have any room to film videos anywhere else. The only other view I have is that one, that way, which you will see just a bookcase, which is one of those cases, but a bigger one with loads of books on it and a load of empty cardboard boxes for stuff for other projects that I'm doing. So yeah, I've thought of doing like green screen backgrounds and stuff like that, and I might do that. I mean, it would be fairly simple just to leave a green screen behind me here and film it from there. It's just I have very little space. I'd have a lot more space if the landlord would get up off his ass and take his furniture that's been here for 3 years. That's just jammed into this corner of the room. So what you're seeing basically is half a room. There's a desk here all the way back to there, and then behind me is like where I work every day. And over that side, that half of the room is just like there's beds and all sorts of stuff just dismantled and leaned up against that wall. My landlord was supposed to take all the stuff out, and I think I will move out before he takes it. So there you go. YouTube is telling me now would be a good time to insert ads. All right, YouTube. Well, we're not going to, so don't worry about that. Let me see. Marcia says, we really have enjoyed your vids and never not enjoyed any of your vids. Well, thanks, Marcia. That's super cool of you to say. I do appreciate it. It's, I always try to put out good videos. And if I don't like them, actually, I don't publish them. So that's happened a few times. But that's super cool. Thank you so much. Now it says to Scott, I've been kicking around the idea of a DIY Theodore and putting Alvin on the headstock. I love that. I love that, man. Yeah, that would be great. Marcia says, I've always have looked forward to your vids ever since I found you a long time ago. Thank you, Marcia. That's great to hear, and very, very appreciative of you saying such a thing. Musical Companion says, when you're in LA, I hope you can eat at In-N-Out and the Hat Pastrami and Tommy's Burgers. Thanks, Musical Companion. I spent a lot of time in LA back in the teens. Yeah, like particularly from 2010 to 2017, I spent a lot of time out in LA, so I never actually went to In-N-Out Burger in all that time. But people do freak out about it and say it's great. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll find out. I'll see. I mean, I'll give it a shot. And where else? The Hat Pastrami I've never had. Tommy's Burgers I've never had either. So yeah, I was getting restaurant recommendations from someone yesterday. And so I think I'll be doing a bit of traveling around some of these places. So we'll see. We'll see. I do feel like I'm going to come back from America 20 pounds heavier, which is unfortunate because I've been trying to lose an extra 20 pounds for the last 6 months. So there we go. It'll be back to square one. It's all fine. Mar says, true, shorts are a big deal lately. I'm not a huge shorts fan. But tons of people seem to be on that bandwagon. Yeah, there's YouTube are pushing it a lot as well. It's just one of those things. Shorts are for the generation with limited attention spans. You said it, Al, and I do remember. I do feel that, to be honest. I actually prefer longer videos. Like I prefer stuff like Colin's videos on Guitaristas. There's a couple other channels I watch regularly put out like one video a week and they're like 30-40 minutes long. I love those ones. Just something to get stuck into on your lunch break, it's all good. That's what I tend to do. But it's all every channel's different though. It's weird how it works. Glenn says, always remember that if you get too much Dave, a shot of penicillin will take care of that. and you'll be ready for more. You're getting a timeout, my friend, if you continue this vein. I shouldn't have said vein, should I? Oh well. Marsh says, I should be a sales rep, and I just like the stuff I can't afford. It's really cool to see tech and innovation in the guitar space. I love old school gear, but new stuff is exciting too. I get you. No, it's all good. But you should be a sales rep. Like, you definitely, I think, would have a talent for it. Like, you sound so passionate about it when you do talk. So yeah, definitely, go into that path if you feel like it. I like spreading the word about cool things on the horizon that might help people looking for new solutions for their guitar stuff. I said stuff because I call it a hobby. It will insult us all. It's kind of a hobby. It's an expensive hobby. Yeah, it really is. Mark says, I want Dave to report from the drum section of NAMM. Who else wants to see that? Nobody wants to see that. Glenn says, I'd be up for some drum reports. And Al says, nah. I feel like if I walked into the drum section, like I presume there's drum YouTubers, and I'd probably walk past the most famous drumming YouTuber and have no clue. I could walk past the most famous drummers in the world. Well, maybe not the most famous, but like, there could be famous drummers in there, and I would walk past them and not know who they were. So I know I'm already embarrassing myself enough in the guitar space at NAMM that I don't need to do it with drums as well. I'm just gonna go around just like in awe of all the stuff and the fact that I'm actually at NAMM. I probably will make the worst videos, just being like, oh my god, I'm at NAMM, this is great. So look out for that and enjoy it. Robert, good to see you, Robert, my friend. Sunday morning for you, of course. Good morning, Dave. Morning all. Sorry for the late arrival. The clocks must have gone back last night, and after me had no idea. Dude, we are always glad to see you. Thanks for joining us so much. Yeah, I hope your Sunday morning goes well. Great to have you and all the folks from Australia and New Zealand with us. Scott says, hitting like is the quickest way to happiness. It's true. It makes you feel that extra buzz that you only get from the like button. Marcia says, it's not important that Dave doesn't know anything about drums, right? I know that I like certain types of drum solos and drummers. I know who my favorite drummers are, but I know there's probably like some section of the internet that thinks John Bonham and like Keith Moon and people like that are just basic now. I don't know. I think they're great. Ginger Baker, probably the great best drummer is probably Ginger Baker. I don't know. People have their opinions, but John Bonham was an amazing drummer as well. Like, you just get lost in his rhythm. Anyway, yeah, I don't know nothing about drums. It probably would be a bad idea. Glenn says, this is One Beat Dave reporting here from the drum section at NAMM. Hey, I don't even have one beat. I did buy a drum set once for a film I was making, and I had it for a couple of months, and I would bash around on it for a while. I literally bash around with it for a month. I thought I would be John Bonham Mark II, and I set it up in a nice cavernous hallway. I was not John Bonham Mark II. It was a fun time though. I enjoyed myself. My neighbors, not so much. Chris from Coburg says, damn the baked beans for this morning's big boy deluxe big boy breakfast. That started to backfire. Be right back. You take your time, Chris. You take your time with that one. Musical Companion says, I would totally buy a Harley Benton if it wasn't for shipping to the US, Texas. I was pass. I can get an ESP LTD for the same price to value ratio to my house. Well, there you go. They do run, of course, the what do you call it? The Reverb store. It's a little bit more expensive because they've kind of built in the pricing of the shipping to the US, to the store, but you do have like free returns and stuff like that to the Reverb store. So it makes it a little bit more convenient. But yeah, I get you. But at the same time, I've seen this argument a lot on like Harley Benton Facebook groups and YouTube channels and stuff. The thing is, like, if I want to buy a guitar from the States, it costs me a lot to ship it here, and vice versa. I suppose it's just because shipping is out of hand at the minute. And if we know anything in this group, it's because Glenn Bailey is our shipping control person, and he hasn't fixed the prices yet. So if you want to just maybe give out to Glenn a little bit, that's what should happen, because he's in control of shipping. Richard says, buy a Gibson for 3,000. It's always worth 3,000, maybe more. Buy an Epiphone for 1,000. You will never have $1,000 again. For the most part, that's right, Richard. Yeah. I mean, Gibsons do go up and down as well. There are times when, the problem is Yeah, the models that are around 3,000, you're likely to get in around 3,000 back for them. I can't see. There's not too many Epiphones that go up in value ever. A handful. But you're bang on. That would be something I would think of. Of course, when I buy a guitar, I'm never thinking of reselling it. Occasionally, it just happens. I get bored at something, or it doesn't feel right, or whatever. Um, Let me see. Glenn says musical companion HB has a US shop on Reverb. Prices are a little higher, but has free shipping. Indeed, Glenn there with the being a sales rep for Harley Benton as well, which I love. Just kidding, Glenn. Of course, musical companion says I mean kind of Richard, but there are a lot of rare made in South Korea and Czech Republic Epis. Stuff like that, like today the Slash Snake Pit. That's just come to mind. Those, if you get a genuine one, there's a lot of fakes. That's the problem. But yeah, for the most part, there's a handful of Epiphones I'd say go up in price. But yeah, for the most part, like the standards and stuff, they're never going to be worth a whole lot. Analysis to Richard. Lots of folks with a $3,000 Gibson worry about dinging them, and they won't play them as much as their 800 euro or dollar Epiphone. That's very true. That's very true. Um, Although, yeah. I mean, I know that I'm going to ding something some way anyway when I play it. So it's just if I own it, I'm going to ding it. That's what's going to happen. Glenn says, I like the Sweetwater April Fool video today. I didn't see it. Because I can't shop from them, I try not to follow them because I get jealous. I do get jealous of you guys who can. My Knees Hurt says, hey, drinking Pike Place Brewing Kilt Lifter Ale 7.6%. I'm in the kitchen listening while I cook and burning my fingertips. Well, my knees hurt. Take care of your fingertips and take care of that beer. It sounds like a pretty good one. Scott Brower says, for NAMM, drums and amps and ukuleles and bagpipes and glockenspiels. I mean, I could do a complete walkthrough, but I have no idea of any of those things. I mean, ukuleles will probably appear in the background. I have bought more ukuleles than I would care to admit. Not for me, not for me, but still, multiples have been purchased, and that's just how it is. Richard says 3,000 isn't even custom shop yet. I don't know anyone worried about the finish on a team-made Gibson. How I would look at it, Richard and guys, is I think $3,000 is a lot of money, and I think 2,000 is a lot of money to be spending on anything that you're not making money from yourself. So for example, if I'm spending that money on a computer, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to make money from this computer, whether I'm making videos that make money or I'm going to do design projects or I'm going to whatever it is I'm doing. I'm going to try and make money out of this thing. If I'm buying I don't know, what else would I buy that's $2,000 or $3,000? I don't know. But the point being, when I buy a guitar that's $2,000 or $3,000, I know I'm not making money out of it. All right. I'm gonna be. It's just a plaything for me. It's something that I have that's cool, but I'm not. It's not a tool I'm going to use to make money with. So I think 3,000 is a lot of money for a guitar. Would I be? I mean, my Flying V that I have. This is the most expensive guitar I have. I paid about 2.5 grand for that all in after everything was shipping and taxes and what do you call it? Like upgrades, not upgrades, reverting it back to its original spec. And I'm very precious with that in terms of more so than my other guitars. But it still has a couple of fresh things that I've put in it because I'm reckless. Uh, just 'cause I'm not a careful person. Um, but yeah, I think I would care. Like if I bought a brand new guitar that was 3 grand, I'd be very like it would be placed carefully back in its case and all that sort of stuff all the time. The fact that I bought a 40-year-old guitar and it already had dings and scratches on it, I think makes the other one easier to accept things in. But yeah, I think 3,000 for a guitar is a lot of money. I think 800 is a lot for a lot of things. I mean, what else do I have that I would spend that much money on? And literally, it comes down to stuff that I will make money off or that I will use in pursuit of jobs or gigs that I do. Um, and then it's guitars. So it's an expensive hobby, man. It's just a bit of wood and some strings. And anyway, the economics of guitars. Let's not go into it. We'll all have a heated argument. Um, Robert says, "G'day, Scott. I don't know how you handle all that snow, mate." Yeah, yeah. I don't think I could live in a snowy place. Mark Doolan says, "Hey, all, spending tonight exploring the tones on my HX Stomp. John Cordy has done so many vids helping us all to dial it in." Hey, Mark, good to see you. Hope all's good with you. Benny says, "I saw one of those super rare listings this week for a Marshall JCM 900 dual reverb. In reality, they shouldn't cost you more than $500-600. Yeah, the old super rare. I love those. I love those. It's just so funny like that that people think stay right super rare. Everyone will think it's super rare. Nella says, "I love the shirt. I'm getting one. Thanks, Nella. Appreciate it." Um, yeah, mine is the thing I will say with this crowd is they tend to take a while to ship. I'm actually starting to worry whether or not the shirt's going to arrive before NAMM. I hope it does, because it's yeah, it's just not good if it doesn't. Mark Dolan says Marshall Zounds or whatever taking them. Yeah, it's not the company who like there's two companies with similar names, I believe, but they're the Swedish group. They've basically the company who've been making the headphones, the Marshall headphones, have bought the controlling interest. Um, I need to know a bit more. I think, as I said, KDH is the guy too. I would look to for his video on that. Ernie B is here. Good to see you, Ernie. Hope all's good, man. Says, "Oh man, I love the TCD shirt and mug. Gotta have the shirt. It seems just like yesterday. I was sitting there waiting for the first live show to start." Oh, Ernie, that's super cool, man. And yeah, it was 73 shows ago. I can't believe it. I knew someone would turn up because I tested the gear and everything. I did a quick test live stream a couple of days beforehand, and actually it was Todd Moore popped in, said that's a nice chair, because that's all you could see in the in the preview, and just made sure everything was working. It was all good, and yeah, it was super cool. Those of you who were at the first live stream, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know we were going to have a good conversation, and it blew me away. And here we are, 73 shows later, still going. So super. I think that was like a celebration. It was like, hey, we've hit 4,000 subscribers. Let's do a live stream. It might have been less than that. I don't know, but yeah, it's wild, man. Here we are. We're still doing it, and it's enjoying it. So it's cool. Scott Brower says, I'm polishing up a guitar to sell as we speak, but it's so I can buy another one. That's the only way to do it, man. It's the only way it makes letting go of some things acceptable is you're like, yeah, I'm selling this to get the other thing. Yeah, otherwise I think you may end up regretting it. I certainly do at times. Chris says we need another Epiphone RD. The only one I know is the Lee Malia one. Scott Brower says an RD with a period correct scale length. I mean, look, if you guys watched Fuzz's video recently on riffs, what's his channel? Riffs, Beards, and Guitars or something. He's cool. Like his my problem with Gibson video. He spells it out like why they haven't done a proper one, and yeah, like it's not a guitar I'm super fond of myself. But I hope everyone who does want one gets one. I don't understand why they won't do. I don't understand why when they reissue a guitar, they can reissue it wrong. How does that happen? Like, how do you put the input jack or the output jack in the wrong place? How do you do that? How do you put the controls in the wrong place? How do you have the wrong scale length if you're reissuing a guitar that's already existed? How do you do it wrong? I don't know, but they do it a lot. So, it makes no sense to me. Anyways, let's roll on. Mark says, I know time flies, Ernie B. I think back to how long ago it was when I found the channel, and I'm like, no way. Yeah, well, the channel's just over 3 years old now, guys. So it's amazing to me that here we are. And just people always say, oh, you started your channel in 2020 during the pandemic. No, the channel had started before the pandemic. It wasn't even the whole C word wasn't even being mentioned as much. I started in January 2020, and it was because I'd seen somebody. So I'd been talking about starting a YouTube channel of some kind for ages, and I hadn't gotten around to it. And somebody else I know started putting up videos, and I was like, oh, I'll help them out because I know a little bit about editing and stuff, and I can just teach them the basics. And as I was doing it, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll start my channel. And I didn't have a camera. And I was like, all right, and I was going away. I was going over to New York like a few weeks later. I was like, I'll just do like voiceover videos, and then I'll buy a camera and B&H when I get there. And that's what I did. And here we are. It's 3 years later, and we're where we are, which is phenomenal. So, um, the scariest part of starting a YouTube channel is starting the YouTube channel. So, my advice to any of you who want to is start it and just put out videos. Not that you need my advice, but that's just what I would say to folks. It is crazy that I've known some of you guys for like 3 years now. And I appreciate you so much. Scott Barrow says, I'd buy one in a heartbeat, Chris from Coburg. That's the RD. Indeed. A lot of people would jump on it, and that's cool. And I think they should put out proper ones. Scott Bogfoot, indeed, says Gibson should have a line of candy bars, each named after signature artists Slashberry, Joe Banana Massa, and Strawberry. You know what? I don't think anyone would pay for ultra aged chocolate bars, or what do you call them? Like a $200 chocolate bar. But you know, they could try. They could try. Nella asks, Scott, would it need to have the Moog Electronics too? That'd be an interesting one. Chai Pup says, hello, good to see you, Chai Pup. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always great to see you drop in. Nella says, I do agree with the scale length needing to be right. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? I agree with that. It as I said, it's weird to me that they'd reissue it with the wrong. Anyway, Crystal Coburg says, same here, Scott. That Lee Malley one is like over 2,000 on Reverb. Yeah, those are pretty sought after. Scott says he'd be cool with the Moog internals. Probably never use it though. It'd be nice to have though, wouldn't it? I actually think it would be nice to have, because it would be a proper reissue. Let me see what else we got. Scott Brown says, sure, it's just like a different scale length than Gibson's usual. Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't think it would be that difficult for them to do. Scott Brown says, never about the RD until I started flooring Fluff 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, Fluff was crazy about his what do you call them? His RDs. And you know, sometimes you just find a guitar that suits you, and yeah, you get passionate about it, and I completely understand that for sure. Marcia says, I really want to see an Epiphone Dave Grohl 335. He looks like a younger version of my uncle, no joke. Plus the music, there have been a few Trini Lopez inspired 335s, but no DG. Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, someone was telling me recently, and I don't know if this is true, but someone was telling me recently that the reason we don't have a Dave Grohl a DG 335 from Epiphone or Gibson is that Dave Grohl didn't want it to happen, and he's refusing to do a new run with them as well. Right now, he's like, no, I'm not doing any of those things. I don't know if that's true, but Dave Grohl, if you're out there, your fans want it, so maybe stop being a fucking selfish prick and let us have Epiphone DG 335s. I know Dave Grohl's a regular viewer of the show, so hopefully he'll get that message. It'd probably be the one feckin' time he would watch, and then he'd be like, oh, this guy thinks I'm a prick. So I don't, Dave. I quite enjoy your music, in fact. Anyways, burning bridges left, right, and center. Benny says to Scott, don't give them any ideas. It's Gibson you're talking about. They'd probably do it. And I'd want to try that Slashberry. That sounds delicious. I don't know if I want to... I don't want Slashberries. Sounds kind of bad for you in lots of ways. SB says, hello everyone, I bought some Gibson nitrocellulose cologne, but my butt smells like it's all ready to sue everyone. And yes, I'd use the whole bottle. I used the whole bottle on my butt, cause I'm worth it. Maybelline. SB, we love you, man. We just love you. Thanks for dropping in. We love you a lot. Always great when you drop in and entertain us. Matt from Bosch says, Dave, do you still got your crypto holdings? XRP has had a good week. I do. Hesitant to talk about crypto right now. There's a lot of weirdness in the space, but yeah, XRP is what's up like 20% or something in the last couple of weeks, so it's pretty good. It's going to be a good couple of months, I think. So we'll see. If you're not into your crypto, you won't have a clue what we're talking about. But XRP is waiting for a court case to end. It should be ending soon. A lot of people speculated it would be over by the end of March. It hasn't been over, so it'll happen soon, and lots of guitar money will flow into people's wallets, hopefully. So yeah, Matt, I haven't sold anything. I've only been adding to it in the last couple of months, but slowing down on my accumulations. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my XRP holdings. I think it's going to do well. And by the end of the year, I think big things. So we'll see. If the SEC over in America will stop being dickheads, that'd be great. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, they should go after banks that are and places that are shutting down and leaving people not able to pay wages and things. Do that. Leave us crypto people alone. Thanks. Anyways, rolling on. Chris Coburg says, Marsha, that Grohl guitar is beautiful. It is. It's a really nice one. That's the blue. I like it. I'm a big fan of it, to be honest. Christian Goldberg says, "What's wrong with shorts? They're pretty comfy hot weather, if you ask me. With those kind of shorts, I accept. I'm self-conscious about my legs. My calves are kind of chunky, and I worry people are going to be like, look at the calves on that guy. Anyway." Marcia says, I'm surprised if it's not even a Gibson staple. Didn't they only sell it like twice at URD? Yeah, they did. Officially, it was a very short run actually back when it was released initially. Musical Companion says, "Oh Dave, I said something about the new tubes weeks back and found out Vox used them in their amps. They are mini, modern, power efficient tubes versus old radio ones. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not really up on that all that sort of stuff, but I do get. I know people are well up on. I'm not very well up on that sort of stuff, but it sounds cool. I need to learn a lot more about that, to be honest. Excuse me. Glenn says, my goal this week is to create another account, the tramp formerly known as Cute Goth Cousin. That is a better name. I mean, the tramp I can say a lot easier than cute goth cousin. It trips me up every time, man. But there you go. Benny says, I learned a drum beat once. There you go. There's programs that do drums for me, so that's what I have fun with. Musical Companion says, I'm a Buddy Rich, Nick Menza guy, and Raymond Hera. Yeah, I mean, good. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who they are. I presume they're drummers. I probably should know who they are. I don't tend to pay too much attention to bass players or drummers. I'm sorry. There's only several bands that I know the name of the bass player or the drummer in. I listen to bands all day. I don't know a lot of the people's who's in them. So there you go. It's my eternal shame. It's not really shameful. Glenn says, careful, Marcia. We'll both get a timeout. Oh, you're on thin ice. Marcia says, so maybe that's what Dave's neighbor is doing. Probably just filming something and pretending to be the likes of John Bono. So is he not my neighbor? Kinda. He lives down the street. So the way where I live is like, I live this way, like on the street that runs this way, and then there's all kinds of houses around over there, straight ahead. And the guy plays down there. The drummer's all right, but it's his guitar playing pals who are terrible. If you're from Wexford and you're in a newly formed band and you play anywhere near White Rock, we need to talk. We need to talk about how far you should be from your amplifier, and how you shouldn't piss me off every Friday and Saturday. Thanks. Because it just never changes. This all I hear is like a squeal. Like they'll be playing a song and I'm like, oh, they're playing Metallica, or they're playing Pearl Jam, or whatever they're playing, and then it's like all I hear is a squeak for like 5 minutes. Then this stuff, and they clearly call out the dude and we're like, you got to stop doing that, and he's like, it's feedback, it's cool. It's not cool, bro. Anyways, Al says, Jeremy's Razor is selling candy bars called His and Him and Hers She. One has nuts. Care to guess which one? Well, Al, that's actually pretty funny. I like that. Barry Bugach says, Dave, if you put us all up at your place, we will bring a guitar with us. Oh, that's just an idea. I mean, there's 42 people here right now, 44 people, concurrently watching the show right now. If all of you were here in my house, it would be quite packed. There's 7,200 subscribers. If all of you turned up at my house at once, we would have an issue. I don't know what would happen. There wouldn't be enough beer. Just like 6 of you are not getting a beer. Work out who between you. I don't know. But it'd be cool. We'd have a party. It'd be sweet. Everyone with their guitars. That'd be something, Barry. Giant Pope says, no, Al, no idea. Is that all you have to contribute? Not at all. Marcia says, we need accounts for the following. No. So Glenn is making 3 new accounts in total. Did we miss anything? Yes, you are all getting banned. Glenn is getting banned from creating new accounts. As soon as I figure out how to do that, it's happening. Al says, just saw the ad, thought it was hilarious. That is funny, Al. I'll have to look out for that for sure. All right, let's see where we are, because I just lost you all. Oh, damn it. Where's my comments? All right, stick around. I'll catch up. There we go. Barry says, I have a Les Paul. I'm afraid to play. I just talk to it softly and rub it with a cotton diaper. There you go. See, we're not alone. We all have our quirky things we do with our guitars. You know, you think you're the only one, but you're not. David K says, any experience with Curtis Novak pickups? Looking at getting one of his New Yorker reproductions for my Epiphone Coronet. Seems to have very good reviews. Hey David, thanks for joining us. I have not had any experience or heard of that particular pickup maker myself, but maybe someone here has, because people here know all kinds of things, or way smarter than I am, so we'll check it out for sure. Dennis says there needs to be more didgeridoo solos. I work with a guy who has who's a big passionate didgeridoo player, so I might be able to sort that out. Glenn says I don't have any experience with those pickups, and Marcia says I think I have heard the Tone King say great things about Curtis Novak during one of his live streams. I am pretty sure it was him. David K says it's either Curtis Novak or a Monty's 54 P90. Can't make up my mind. All I can say there is I believe Monty's 54 P90s are fantastic. So haven't used either myself, but I have seen a lot of folks, and my favorite YouTuber, Colin from Guitarist, says he talks very positively about Monty's. So I would just give you that. Monty's are supposed to be phenomenal. But yeah, hopefully someone else has heard of the other. Richard says, not saying you shouldn't take care of any guitar, but I treat all mine like babies, any value. But I don't buy them to look at. No, you're 100% right, Richard. Like I do take care of all of them as much. I mean, look, the one that's 88 euros, that doesn't get as much care as attention as the ones that cost a few hundred, for sure. It might go weeks without getting much play, but it still gets played from time to time. But yeah, I do agree with you. They all get bought to be played at some point. It's when you've got more than 2 or 3 trying to make sure you rotate them heavily enough so that they all get a bit of play. But yeah, it's all good. Marcia says, I enjoyed the Badlands kazoo that they released today. I've never looked at, to be honest, but I'm sure it was a fun one. Marcia says, I fear that more of those Adam Jones Les Pauls with the artwork are becoming dust collectors instead of being played. There's definitely a subset of people buying them as resale objects rather than guitar fans. I would say probably the likelihood is half of them are going to people who are either massive Adam Jones fans or massive Tool fans or massive Silverburst guitar fans. Again, we still haven't confirmed. Nobody has said definitely that there's just a standard version coming out after the art collection. I do expect it, but we'll see. Cesar didn't answer me when I asked him, surprisingly. Musical Companion says, Dave, I would be totally down to do one-off co-hosted music and gear pod or love vodcast. It's clear you love doing this and aren't making clickbait. Musical Companion, thank you, man. Yeah, I do love it. I love talking. I love the subject matter is what it is. I love the subject matter. I love guitars. I love talking about guitars. I love the folks, love the community, and I love hanging out with people here. So yeah, it'd be super cool. If you look, if anyone wants to do anything like that, do collaborations and stuff, my email is always in the bottom of the description for all the videos. I can reach out and see what we can do. Although, although because it's publicly out there on YouTube, I do get a mountain of spam. So occasionally I miss an email that comes through. Mountains of spam come through to that email address and don't get caught by any filters, no matter what I do. So yeah, if you email me and you don't hear back, email me again. I'll probably see it the second time. What I would say is, yeah, I love it. I do love it. I love being on camera. I do 2 or 3 different uh, podcast video projects that are not related in any way. Like there's one I do on a Sunday morning with a pal of mine. I don't mention it on the channel because it's not related to guitars, and it's not like the projects wouldn't work together. And yeah, I just love being messing around on camera and being on part of things like that. So I'm down for anything like that. And I'm also not a fan of clickbait when I'm a viewer, so I don't like making it. Although I have from time to time made it. It is fun, and it's always fun. You always get someone who who like threatens you because you clickbaited it. Um, One recent, was it last year sometime? I put up a video, and I can't remember what the title of the video was, but there was this one comment that said, um, clickbait again and see what happens to you. It's like, nothing's gonna happen to me. It's clickbait video. Who cares? People will be like, I hate this. I don't know, but like, it wasn't super clickbaity. It was like, this thing is $10,000 or whatever it was. Whatever it was. Joe Bonamassa's guitar doesn't look as good as he thinks it does. Something like that. Anyways, it was it was fine. Yeah, I don't like clickbait, so I try not to do it, but it's a necessary evil sometimes. Anyways, thank you, musical companion. And yeah, reach out if you've got something going on. Marcia says, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Curtis Novak pickups. How bad can they be if people rave about them? If they don't work out, you can probably sell them easily. That's a good point. David says, based in the States, Glenn, but ships internationally, which is good, as I'm in the UK. Yeah, that is good. Scott says, it'd be crazier if they said the altered scale length was plecked. That would be weird. Uh, Mark says, musical companion, I really think Dave should try collabs with others for some podcasts and videos. I think it would help get new viewers who would really appreciate Dave's content. So here's the thing. I am fully aware that collabs or collaborations or whatever are useful for growing YouTube. I watch a lot of how to grow on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. I know all the tips and things people say to do. In fact, you'll have seen me do some of them, and a lot of them don't actually work on specific types of channels. Guitar is a niche on YouTube that is just, there's no format for. It's not one of the big ones. But yeah, the people I have reached out to do collabs have either turned me down flat or just not responded to me. And also me finding time, like I'm pretty sure Colin and I could do one and it'd be great, but it's finding time to do it is the thing. And I've been quite busy the last year when it's been something on my radar to do something like that with Colin. So yeah, it's one of those. We will find a way I'll find a way to get stuff done at some point with others. I'm hoping to bump into a lot of YouTubers now in a couple of weeks' time, and maybe arrange some collaboration-y type things, or say, hey, let's do things together. Hopefully that doesn't sound too creepy. I will be handing out 3 Chord Dave business cards, which are double-sided as well. Although it looks like it's a bass guitar, but that's Candle's fault. So yeah, anyway, people will be getting those to reach out to me to do collabs and stuff. But we will see. We will see what happens. Muddy H2O with the super chat. Thank you, sir, for your continued support of the channel. You know we love you. You say, when we doing our podcast Savory Davery? Sir, I asked you to co-host a podcast with me a while ago, I think, and you said that I wasn't cool enough to be on a podcast with you. So yeah, I don't know. We can. Anyone who has ideas like that, reach out. I mean, I'm down for a lot of things. It's just about having time and stuff like that to do it. So yeah, thanks for that idea, sir, and thank you for your super chat. You are always super generous with all of your time and stuff. Grandpa Joe says, to Dave and all today, wishing everyone have a great week. We'll see you all next time going to Texas Roadhouse. Well, enjoy that, Grandpa Joe. I'm sure you're probably gone at this stage, but I hope you had a good time. Let me see. Grandpa Joe. Glenn says, Grandpa Joe, take me with you. Texas Roadhouse. Take care, Joe. Good stuff, guys. I mean, hey, someday we'll all meet up in a place like that, probably. Who knows? Glenn says, what do you call two people that travel with a band? Wait for the drummer and the bass player. That's exactly it. Scott says, that's their signature sound, the Wexford squeal. Oh my God, really. It's probably, I don't know if it's, yeah. Anyway, Benny says, I actually played drums in a band very briefly, a 1 gig wonder, quite a career. Well, Benny, congratulations. 100% record of having gigs. That's impressive. Yeah, so I've never played drums in a band, just for fun. I actually kind of wish I could play drums. That'd be fun. Can't play guitar either, but hey, I mean, I enjoy myself. That's all that matters. SB says, I'd love to go to Dave's house party, chill a bit, go through the trash can, and probably, allegedly put a strange unknown substance in everyone's drinks, then take off. SB, that is exactly what I would expect from you, my friend. And yeah, you would be welcome to go through the trash. Just make sure it's all put back in there tidily when you leave, and we'd be fine. Al says, I'm sure the beer store will love it if we all show up at Dave's. Yeah, we might have a supply issue if 7,000 people turn up unannounced, but it's fine. Ryan says, unknown substance at an Irish party equals water. Yeah. Actually, very little water seen at parties, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Glenn says, I played drums all through my teens. Well, Glenn, that explains a lot, my friend. A lot. So we'll just leave it there. Trash Slayer says, I'd want to see what's on the other side of that hole in Dave's bathroom wall. Oh, Trash Slayer, that is, you are more than welcome to check out whatever's there. But glad to have you. That is, your way around this channel. That's all I can say. Welcome to the live stream. That is a fun way of putting it. SB says, exactly, Ryan. Plus, finally, I can cosplay as Cher in Sonny and Cher outfit era. 70s glam. I couldn't be bothered to shave, just like doing Daisy and Six show. Period correct. Well, there you go. Period correct is important, and I haven't seen that show, but I should watch it perhaps. I don't know, these ideas of house parties make me kind of want to have a house party with 7,000 people turning up. That'd be fun. Let me see. Mar says, I would co-host, but I wouldn't be of much help to expand Dave's audience when I have 7 followers. Well, there you go. I mean, I have no desire for a co-host, but I don't mind doing like one-offs with folks. Yeah, I like my show how it is. It's fun. It's fun. I always get a good kick out of these live streams in particular, as it is. But yeah, if people want to do a show, I've always wanted to do like just a podcast, not a video one, just an audio podcast. And I don't do those. I do a couple of things that are done both video and podcast. I think they're recorded for podcasts. I've done a couple of attempts over the years of sports podcasts and stuff, like over the last, however long podcasts have been a thing. But yeah, we will see. Sooner or later, I'll have other people do stuff on the channel. That will happen for sure. And sooner or later, Colin and I will do something, I'm sure, because there's a lot of mutual love between the channels. I definitely think. Anyway, rolling on. Merch says, I've actually seen some cool channels pop up in my feed that around the same size as Dave. That might be good collab options. Someone told me recently that they had a channel the same size as mine and they had 125 subscribers. And I was like, no, no, we don't. And they were basing it off something else. I thought it was funny, but I was like, I don't see what you're bringing to this. It's not, I'm not knocking anyone, but like they weren't they weren't producing the same type of content. I think it was so there has to be a mutual um, reason for doing it, which is not just like, oh hey, we're both on YouTube, which seemed to be what it was. It's like, hey, you make YouTube videos and I make YouTube videos. Let's do a collab. No, it has to be something that'll benefit both of us. And so yeah, sooner or later you'll see some weirdos on the channel and be like, who the hell is that guy? We'll figure it out at some point. Marcia says, I want that TCD business card for real. Dave should hang and leave some in music stores and maybe places where guitarists hang out. I mean, there is like one small, I don't know how many there is. There's like it's a couple of hundred of them. I don't know. Maybe there's not even that many. This might be 100. I don't know. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll find a way to get some sent out in the world. We'll see how many are left when I come back from that. Hopefully not many, but we'll see. Um, anyways, is my email address on this? Yeah. Is that my actual email address? It is. All right, awesome. So we'll see. Yeah, giveaway winners from now on will receive a Chord Dave business card. Glenn says, Marcia, he can't leave them in gentlemen's clubs like he planned. Hey, I can leave what I like in gentlemen's clubs, all right? William Farr says, how do you know if a drummer is outside your house? He knocks three times and then comes in late. All right, I love it. Muddy says, why not, Glenn? He can slip one into each robe. Um, how many robes you wearing, Muddy? That sounds inappropriate in so many ways. 70s glam was scary. Remember Horselips? Horselips were great, man. Yeah, for sure. Um, TC robe would be pretty sweet. You be careful what you wish for, sir. You will get one. Um, Glenn says business cards instead of money. I mean, they're just business cards, but if they become collector's editions, then awesome. Uh, but EH2O says Chord Dave making it rain business cards. I mean, I'd be quite conservatively handing them out just because they're limited in number. But yeah, I mean, maybe in the right circumstance. Glenn says five TCD business cards for a lap dance. I mean, that seems like a lot of business cards. I don't know. We'll see. It might not be that many. Um, let me see. You can make them for free. Vistaprint does free print, and we're back to sales rep, Marcia. Rep and Vistaprint at the moment. Um, if you don't mind them saying printed by Vistaprint in a small corner. I don't promote brands that don't pay me, unless it's guitartricks.com, uh, who eventually get shamed into paying me, which is nice. But yeah, I get you, Marcia. No, it's all good. I was playing around one Saturday morning with them, with the cards thing. I have them there a couple of months now, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool when I go to Nam. It's felt like forever getting to Nam, and it's still a week and a half away. I'm not good at planning stuff this far out. I'm really not. Like I'm more of a let's book something today to go next week kind of person. And I kind of wish I'd waited until now to book Nam actually, because then I wouldn't have been freaking out about it and trying to plan stuff. And anyways, it's a whole thing. And I was given some great ideas for things to do while I was back in LA yesterday. So and I think I'm going to look into doing them. Just spots for breakfast and things like that. But which are maybe a half an hour drive away. So I'm gonna have to get up early in the mornings, which is fine because I do anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think next weekend I'll tell you what my other plans are when I'm in California as well. And guys, if you're in California or if you're in the other places I'm going to be, let me know. Maybe we can arrange to have a beer or something. If you're going to be around Anaheim on the week of the NAM show, let me know. Do hit me up either on the Facebook group or um, email me straight away. Not straight away, but straight from YouTube. Just hit the link or the email address in the description, and we can set something up. And if the more of us, the better. So yeah, if anyone's going to be in the area, let it be that we have a beer or two together. Um, Anyways, YouTube trading cards, says Glenn. That's a great idea. Maybe that's a business in itself. Um, Scott says, I was going to add to that, Glenn, but I'd have to ban myself. Yes, Scott, you would. So just take it easy. Mar says, I'm sure there must be a company local to you that does the same thing. Vistaprint is here. Yeah, Vistaprint are still available. I don't ever want to order from Vistaprint again. I used to order a lot from them and I get hundreds of emails from them every month still. I've unsubscribed several email addresses from them and I still get the emails. Yeah, and it was back in the day. I used to be ordering business cards like once a month or so, or once every 3 months, and I'd be getting all kinds of things for my different couple of businesses I ran and film stuff that I used to get film posters and stuff printed and festival materials done and stuff like that. And it was fine, but they, as I said, they just drive you crazy with promotions and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't like using them. I use Canva for pretty much everything you can print off there. So the cards are actually pretty good quality, which you may find out if you get one if you win a competition at some point. Right, so yeah, horse lips were great, but still the dresses in silver paint. Their dresses were unreal, man. Yeah, the music was pretty cool, but their drummer, what was his name? Eamon something. He went on to be a journalist at one of the newspapers in Ireland. When the band split up, I think he did sports and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. But yeah, their horse lips were a cool Irish band for a bit. But yeah, their their dresses and everything was mad. Um, Let me see. Glenn says, a room full of naked women with Chord Dave robes and business cards. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, man. But business cards, I don't think are gonna get me a room full of naked women. Maybe one or two, but not a room full. New people watching the show be like, who the fuck's this guy think he is? Um, Nella, are there many pawn shops in your area? I'd love to see a video of you checking out music gear and pawn shops. I'd love exploring pawn shops for gear. There isn't actually. No, there's like an electronics pawn shop, which is called Sex, uh, with a C. It's CEX, and they call themselves sex workers. The people who work there. And it's like video games and DVDs and cameras and phones and stuff get traded in there for cash and stuff. But there's no actual pawn shops where I live. No, it's how it's done here is like people just trade their guitars into a guitar store when they're buying it, if the guitar store will take it. Um, yeah, and if you're buying online or whatever, tough. So yeah, not really a thing that's done here, sadly, because I like the idea of going to pawn stores, and I've always been fascinated by them. When like I used to watch that Pawn Stars TV show, that was cool back in the day. Seeing people bringing in Phil Collins guitar and stuff like that. Scott says, what guitars do everyone think are a good deal, exceed expectations lately? It's no one's beaten that. It's 3 years old, but the SG P90s, special SG special P90s, faded pale and blue, or the burgundy one. It's like 329. It's like the best guitar I've ever played in that price point. Excellent guitar. Um, and yeah, I don't know, man. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure, but I maybe the Epiphone Les Paul Special as well. It's another good one. But hey, there's lots of people who have opinions on that, I'm sure. Glenn says, I stop into a pawn shop for the same reasons if I have time. Yeah, I'd love to. Maybe if I'm in California, if I see one, I'll pop in just to check it out. Well, apparently the police found me again. That's it for me. Have a great week. See ya if I'm not in a sketchy situation. You take care, SB, and thanks for joining us and cheering us up as you always do. It's always great to see you when you drop in. Scott says, just checked. I can't ban myself. Some kind of self-preservation thing, I guess. Yeah, but you know what? I can ban you. There you go. Always remember. Ryan says, yeah, Eamon Carr. That's it. Yeah. I think he worked with my dad at some point on because my dad was a journalist for a while. Anyway, brilliant. Yeah. He was a good drummer too. He was a good drummer, yeah. The Horselips has a really good song. Hands That Build America is a really good song. Off the top of my head. What was the song? They did a song for the 1990 World Cup Irish team. And it was like they redid one of their songs. It's brilliant. The riff on it's just fantastic. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, look up Ireland Italian 90 official song and you'll get it. It's great. Glenn Bailey says there was an antique store an hour from here that had a vintage Gibson acoustic cheap, but the guitar hunter went down and it was an Epiphone with a Gibson headstock scarf joint. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's lots of that. There's also a lot of people. I see this a lot in particularly beginning guitar groups, the likes of the Fender Play Facebook group and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, and people, not having super high amounts of knowledge about guitars, but people assume if it's Gibson and it's old, it's worth a fortune, and it's just not the case. A lot of like 30s, 40s Gibsons are not worth a whole lot. They're worth maybe 2,000 to 3,000. There's a few rarities that are, worth quite a bit, but not those guitars are not the ones that you buy a house by selling, or pay off your mortgage by selling, stuff like that. So people do get excited when they see Gibson and it's like what do you call it? What is it? The ribbon headstock or whatever they call the banner headstock. They're like, oh my God, that's not the usual thing. That's worth a fortune. It's not. It's like a standard thing from the 30s or the 40s or whatever. And then you try to tell them and educate them, and they're like, no, you're wrong. Anyways, pawn shops are a great place to look for guitars if there's one around. Yeah, I really wish that there was one actually, but there you go. Glenn says, for me, the Yamaha Revstar. That's a great shout, actually. Haven't played one yet still, but yeah, I really like what they do. I like Yamaha guitars a lot. So hoping to pick one up soon. Not a Revstar maybe, but an SG 1000 or is it an SG 800? SG 1000 would be great. Ryan says, I've never actually played an SG. I'll give one a try next. I love my all black P90 special though. Yeah, I saw that on your post on Facebook this morning. It's good. I like it. It's as I've said 1,000 times, I find black, white, and what's the other? Black and white. Let's just go with black and white. I find black and white guitars just a little bit boring. If there's something done to jazz them up, maybe a little bit of gold added into the mix there, or something like a competition stripe or something, that just makes them way more appealing to me. I don't know, just straight black, straight white. It's just boring. That's all. But nothing wrong with them at the same time. Like I wouldn't be upset if I had a black guitar. Although I know the consensus here is that I hate everything that's black or white. That's not. I've never said that. Just to be clear. It's all good. But yeah, blue is a better color for guitar. Everyone knows that. Scott says, yeah, I think Gibson tributes are great value now that Epiphone is increasing prices, but not quality or extras. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Al says, saw that the main guy on Pawn Stars lives in a home worth 7 million. Yep, that is not surprising. I'm surprised it's not more, to be honest. Ryan says, Dark Doom. That's the one. Dark Doom is the Horslips song. Yeah, everyone look that up. It's a brilliant song. I love it. I'm going to go listen to that before I go to bed tonight now, because we're nearly at the end of the show, and all good. Musical Companion says, almost never see anything good at pawn shops unless I'm at a major music area like Austin, Dallas, Houston, or San Antonio, near live music areas. That'd be cool. Yeah, to be somewhere like that. I wonder what the pawn shops in Nashville are like. That'd be pretty sweet, I'm sure. Jag Doom has the coolest riff. King of the Fairies is a good one too. King of the Fairies is a good one. Were we talking about riffs? Yeah, Ryan and I were kind of having a secret conversation about riffs for the Horslips. Is a band, an Irish band that were great. It's a song by Marcia by Horslips. They were a Dublin Celtic rock band. Yeah, very cool. Very cool band indeed. I know, I just didn't know why you said it. Yeah, no, we were talking about. I was trying to remember the name of it. That's why, and Ryan popped it up there. The internet and eBay ruined getting a good deal at pawn shops, though, says Noah. You have to hope that you don't know what they have to get a good deal. That's true. It's true on the internet as well. You see a lot of people, but it usually works the other way around. That you have a someone who doesn't know what they have, they just assume it's worth a lot of money. It's like, nah, man, that's not worth anything. We're always talking about riffs, even if we're not talking about riffs. That's true, Glenn. It's Riff City over here. Marza says, flogging Molly, anyone? Nope. I guess people like him. Why not? Benny says, I was just listening for a moment and thought you guys were talking about porn shops. Trading in your used porn is great. Come home with someone else's to find pages stick together. Not so much. I mean, we do get to the weird places here on the show, Benny, but we're not that bad, not yet. But I'm glad it made you laugh. Musical Companion says, anyone listen to Texas Hippie Coalition? I certainly haven't heard of that group, band, coalition, in fact. So yeah, not me, but sounds interesting. I'll check them out. Chris from Coburg says, gotta grab more points and walk the dog. Have a great weekend, y'all. Take care, Chris. Hope all's good, and thanks for joining us. In fact, guys, everybody, thanks for joining us. Cheers to you all. I hope you all have plenty of good times this week. Just talking about guitars and videos and things. The likelihood is that this week there'll be a couple of videos. It'll depend going forward more on stuff actually coming across my desk that is newsworthy. So I'm looking at Tuesdays and Thursdays as the days for videos. Obviously, we'll be back next Saturday with a live stream, and then it's NAMM week after that. So there's lots and lots of stuff coming. I might only be able, I don't even know if I'm going to make a video this week, let's be honest, because I'm planning a lot for NAMM and there's a lot of time going into that. So unless something cool happens, which I'm sure it will, and I'll get a couple of videos out, but it's a lot of work this week getting ready for NAMM the following week. So please do excuse me if I don't get one out. I'll definitely do my best to get videos out as much as I can. Just remember as well, the Patreon is there if you want to join up. The exclusive content will return in April, and we will be getting back on track with that. The t-shirts, like you can see, are there, and all the merch, so make sure you click on those and hit me up with your ideas if you want to do some shows together or stuff like that. That would be super cool. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. You've all been super cool and fun, and I loved every second of it. So take care of yourselves. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon, but until then, take care.